going through your career in person and otherwise as an educationist, what I realized is that you have built that are not just schools, but ecosystems, blending education, sports, wellness, and culture. What inspired this philosophy of learning beyond walls, and how do you define a holistic school today?
See, in my case, for me, whatever I do not limit myself to boundaries. So, like if I open a school and I think if my infrastructure can be used by others, maybe I run a sports academy in the evening. So it's open for all. My swimming pool is open for all, and that whatever we are doing. So first of all, in case I was developing a school, small school, around that there was a lot of the infrastructure by government was in the literate state. So we got that repaired. So wherever we start working, we have to see society at large. So if we are running a school, if we think that we can manage another school which is nearby, so I take this consider that as an opportunity that if we can support that school, if it can guide them. So that mindset I think that helps us because then when we think like this, our whole team also start thinking in that.
Very interesting. You have done that by instinct, but what do you think is the impact on the learners in your spaces?
See, I take the pride in this that several of our students they have not pursued their higher education after class 12. Now you may think that am I saying that they should not pursue their higher education? It's not that they have got enough grooming, and I think there are three students who after class 12 have opened schools. So this is the kind of learning. It's more of an entrepreneurship. They are enterprising. So they are groomed in a way that whatever system they are seeing. I will just give you an example. I started my career at the age of 18 because of some reason. I came to Lucknow for my IT preparation, but somehow I ended up doing business. So with my business, I was doing my, I mean, the academic stuff just for the qualification. I would write the
Because
exams
still a
separately.
mindset is
But
required, na?
I
Even
thought that I
if
missed
we
something.
are
So
somewhere
I
and
approached
because
the
of the
person
mindset
who was
only,
known to
na?
me, who
We
was
need a mindset for
who
that.
qualified from IIT. At that time there were only few
And
IIT.
he's saying in the
So
age
he
of
suggested
18
me
only.
that you, even if you don't get admission in
That
IIT,
matters, na?
then you should go abroad. I said, why? Then he told me, at that time the economy of the country was not open. He said, even if you don't study, you learn the system, you will learn a lot. Similarly, I say that our pure intent, our functioning, if my children are watching us, so they learn just by seeing.
Fantastic. It is truly beyond traditional curriculum. If you really see, curriculum may teach us law, but it will not teach us application unless we have seen it in our environment. Because mostly you see the child's kind of what he wants to be in future is what he's exposed to. And a lot of times we take him beyond our walls by introducing him that you should become a say a doctor or an engineer or an astronaut, but somewhere we do not create a workable model in our own environments that inspires him. It's a very interesting take that how you approach a problem, how do you create new ideas. If you do make your school the lab for that, and you really train him to then do this.
See, if you go to rural areas, the children there, they have the open fields are there, those labs.
Labs.
We are making those labs in our school. So they are stimulated by their experiments, where we are making them do experiments.
So this is like being in a simulator or in a plane.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Interesting, but there is a challenge, no, Sarvesh, in cities to create those environments.
Yes, there is a challenge because I think our education system, so I think I'm becoming too vocal in talking this, our assessment systems are not are foreign. So, and this will very soon, because of, see, we are all talking about NEP. I think our intent is not clear. So our schools are not fully equipped to deliver as per NEP. In our human capacity also, so there was a challenge to us that we were not able to provide the personalized learning. And I see within 10 years, schools will no longer be the same in 10 years. Everything will be changed. So because of AI, we will be able to give that kind of personalized learning. And then we will be able to enhance or the true skills of the child, what was the child meant for. Otherwise, we were treating all the students same, equal. So I think and another challenge that I am seeing for the competition, this technology will be available readily to all the children. So there is a gap. Children are getting good quality education. How many of them are getting that good quality education? Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5%. Later in 10 years, almost all the children will be able to get that kind of support, technical support, and they will be true learning. Then the level of competition, then we are saying our children are facing a lot of competition between those 5%. What will be the level of competition when 100% of the children are getting that opportunity?
So this gap that since morning we were talking about the rural and urban gap, we were talking a lot of gaps when we started the session today morning. And worries about emotional intelligence or what is the status of emotional state of the students nowadays because of the technology. But I think what Sarvesh just said is what technology is going to do. The technology is going to personalize his learning journey and make him hands-free to experiment his specialization into creating enterprise. And that is already happening.
I think it's too early to say with full conviction, but I think in 10 years, schools will not be required the way we are thinking. Maybe for primary education, yes, we may require, but for middle school or for class 11, 12, it's not required.
I will tell you, this is Mayo's principal, General Alotra, around 6-7 years ago told me, and he was advising also on digital learning. He said that if we truly make an application-based curriculum without deviating from requirement of CBSE 10th and 12th exams, you can finish your curriculum using technology in class 9. And 9 to 12 should be internships. And then there will be true alignment to what the industry wants and how you are actually training your human resource. And that is where you introduce innovation and new experiments, and those thinking labs that are everywhere would have true meaning. That you will make them do experiments in the school. And the kind of beyond classrooms, the way you're saying, create a learning area without walls, the reality would happen. Yeah. And don't you think it is already kind of happening in pockets? Wherever the adoption is happening?
I think we, as humans, so there is some limitation. When there is an integration of AI, then there will be personalized learning.
Yeah.
And again, the blockage is from the education system, where if the assessment
That
is
have become
removed,
the part
I
of
think we'll have
his.
better.
Or a
But
line.
it's not ma'am, it's not
Or a
that.
A line to
It's not that.
the. So, what we are.
क्या हो रहा है?
We are going to ignore the bell.
Buzzer, buzzer.
We want to put confusion, right? I have two questions. One is, everybody was showing a lot of apprehension on AI
Because
in our conversations right now. That
trying
AI
to
is
end up.
exposing them to
This is called
information
confidence.
that is not age
This is called
appropriate.
ownership.
So,
They
how
own
do you
it.
think AI is
They can do
best
anything.
used in education?
Of course, we can say.
See, with every technology, there is a bad side and good side. AI will be helpful in assessing the child and then bringing that child to his actual level and then again raising the child from there to higher level. So that is the most important thing about AI and best part of AI. Apart from that, see we all are talking about NEP. We are all using good technical words, but I think are we actually aligned with that thought process? For that, I think it's very important that we have several people from management and principals to run a school with that thought process. I think principals and the management, one of them must have that vision and with clear vision. And for that vision, the principal has to execute. Thus, it is clear. I think we are set for the good education.
So my interpretation of what Ramesh is saying is the national education policy talks about flexibility, creativity, and multidisciplinary learning. And to have it as an integral part of the school is a challenge. The challenge is, do you think, is because we are not ready to move from marks to mindsets? It's a mindset change, really. And if the mindset changes, I don't think difficult to implement.
See, mindset is the first condition, right? And marks is our expectations from the parents. So we have to actually manage. I wish we don't have to manage the mark side.
I think there is an exploration that the CPSE is exploring, that if a child is doing a new project or a unique project, they want to give credits. And the moment the matrix of assessment changes, perhaps we encourage new areas that child can specialize in. Suppose a child is, you're a sportsman and you encourage sports so much, and a sports people cannot be in the regular classes, and they are not given credit for doing that extra in the academics. That could be a beginning.
See, again, ultimately, what is the true learning? If we have this mindset as educators, I think we should be happy, and our children, we should convince our parents and the students that this is the real learning that will happen.
So we come back that ultimately it's leadership in the school that can actually drive this change.
It's the management or the principal.
So what change have you got in your school in lines of this thought?
See, I love to experiment.
Yeah, that I know.
And I'm not worried about, of course, because there is expectation from the parents regarding marks. So I always tell my team that let's do our work honestly, and then whatever we get as marks, we should be happy with that.
So most people who are visionaries see a vision that practitioners currently don't see. And then there is a fear psychosis. Hey, I don't want to adopt technology because technology will replace a teacher. And therefore, the technology doesn't enter the classroom in the true avatar of usage, right? So, as technology and AI enters class, it has to enter, inevitably has to enter. Many educators fear being replaced. How do you envision AI empowering rather than overshadowing teachers in your ecosystems?
See, you cannot stop AI in any sphere. It will enter in our life in every field. Now we have to use it, and we should be intelligent enough to how to use it. It is in a very near future. It's not going to replace the teachers, but we are getting time to align with the technology. If we are aligned, then we will be relevant. Otherwise, we will be lost.
That is one point. Second point is that technology will make time for the teachers to even change their role. You know, we were having this conversation and I said, what do you think the teacher's role will be? You had some very interesting insights that in a new age school, the teachers will not deliver lectures or concepts, but they will have another role. How do you envision that role?
I think AI will take care of academics, and teachers will take care of other things like parents. it will be for life skill. It will be related to socio emotional only. Academics will be taken care by AI.
So
Socio
therefore, the
emotional
first thing should be that you let the AI come in so that teacher has enough time to engage with the children and you pass on the human values. And why is
No,
it
she said
still
there
a
will be
very
final round of this. Just wait for 10 more minutes. She said,
impractical
and she ignored email.
change? If you really speak, you have a school and spoken to a lot of educationists, it is okay for
I'm here
conferences, but it
since
is not
it's
okay in
since 9
reality
o'clock.
once
And
they go
you?
back to
I'm here
school.
since 9
Why
o'clock.
is it challenging transition?
10:30.
What
10:30.
stopping us?
10:30.
Again, I will come back to the vision of the management and the principal. Because ultimately they have to set the stage for AI or the any change. So they have to be convinced fully. They should feel the intent. Then only they will be able to implement.
Okay, the biggest worry usually is business, that I will lose my business in transition. But a businessman told me once that moment my current school adopts AI 100% in true sense, I will be able to have my core school and then I will be able to have my online school. I will expand my business virtually. And what do you think about that idea?
Now then she will reply. No, she has to accept.
Only two questions left.
Oh my God.
उस टाइम भी टू था अभी भी
So,
टू है.
sir, no, I want to ask you to ask those two questions.
कोई
See,
जरूरत
what
नहीं
happens
टेक्नोलॉजी से
in
ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी हम जानते
conferences
हैं.
need
बदल
to be
बदल
about
बदल
conversation towards change. And I thought as a school leader, Sarvesh Goyal has led by example and he would have some ideas that you can go back and implement in school. So it's worth that. It's the last cup of tea. I think it's, let's just go along. Yes, please. Do you think it is workable
not required.
to have an online school based on your basic curriculum that you know, you have a USP in your school?
That's there, but I think online is not it's a standby arrangement.
Okay. Not a continuum.
Not a permanent solution.
Okay, great. Last question, because when I was walking through this hotel and I've seen a lot of elements in this hotel which I found very interesting. Your projects are beautifully, they merge design, environment and learning. And I saw it throughout. How does architecture from open spaces to innovation labs shape the mindset and emotional well-being of learners? This is an important part because sometimes the learning happens in the classroom. We say peer learning, but also spaces. And if you manage spaces very well, so how do you think it impacts the learners?
See, it impacts the learner and as I was talking,
इसके लिए हम इससे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. वो लोग इतने सोचता ही नहीं है. बस और पेरेंट
have a bigger
खाता है मोमो और घूमता रहता है.
sadly,
से North India में.
we pay less to our pre-primary
बच्चे इधर उधर घूमता रहता है बाइक लेके. कोई गर्लफ्रेंड मोमो पेरेंट्स सैटरडे संडे मूवी.
teachers should be more than the senior teachers. So this is what I think they have a bigger role
साउथ
to
इंडियन
play.
पिक्चर इज डिफरेंट.
In future, I think this system may change because of the real learning that is happening at the world level.
I'm from NTB,
Their
not school.
spaces along with
I'm a
their
global person.
mentoring. So this
I'm a global figure.
That is the
Not
future
particularly
school
school.
to you, really.
We have seen
Where the primary school teachers get higher salaries than senior school teachers and a senior curriculum is self-learned and the senior
You're from
teacher's
Lucknow?
mindset in our young population. And the game changer is assessments